What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to my first video here on the YouTube channel. And for those of you who do not know, next weekend is the Reptile Super Show in Pomona, California, and I will be there vending with MJ at the Trap Exotics booth. So I figured that a great first video here would be to show off some of the stuff that I'm bringing to the show. I'll definitely be bringing some things that you're probably not going to see at any other booth, so I'm very happy to be able to do that, and I'm excited to show you guys some of these snakes. All right, so this first snake here is probably one that you will see at other places at the show. This is one of my favorite colubrids I work with. This is one of the baby northern Mexican pine snakes they produced this year. And one thing that's really cool about these snakes is that they go through an ontogenic color change where they start off looking pretty drab, but we'll throw up a picture of the mom here. Both of the parents are incredible. The mom is super vibrant, so you kind of get an idea of what these snakes will turn into. But we'll have a couple of these up on the table. Only have a few females left from the season, but definitely happy that I can have a couple out on the table. These guys have already grown significantly since they were born earlier this year, eating frozen thawed hopper mice. So have a couple of these at the show. One of my favorite colubrids. All right, so the exact snake that's coming to the show with me is in shed right now. So this is one of its siblings that is currently on hold for somebody to go after the weather gets a little bit better. But this is one of the Tanamera southern scrub pythons I produced this year. They are het for patternless. And as I will explain in a future video, I think that definitely has some impact on the pattern of this snake. But one of the babies from this year, these guys were born back in May, have already had some pretty significant growth coming in and really some cool pattern development as well. They did not come out how I expected, but in a way that I'm very happy with. Really intricate pattern, some cool orange color, some nice lateral bars on the side. So this one will not be at the show, but a sibling of its will, and I think you guys will really like it. So I will also have a couple of the Womina scrub pythons that hatched out last year at the show. This is one of the males right here. We'll have a pair there, maybe an extra male or so, but these guys have already been very well established, easily 20, 30 meals under their belt. It's a pretty significant growth too. What's really cool about the Womina locality is that it is one of the darker scrub pythons, which there are not very many of. So it's always really cool to see some kind of different variety. Also one that I think has been pretty overlooked by a lot of the scrub python fans out there. Definitely one with a lot of line breeding potential ahead. And one of the things that I always like about them, one of their hallmark traits is that pink tongue, pale pink, very distinctive tongue that sets them apart from the other localities of scrub pythons. So we'll have a couple of these at the show. I'm very excited to be able to bring them. We'll also have a couple Barneck scrub pythons at the show as well from this year. A pair, maybe two, some of the last ones available from this season, including this female right here. So this is one that's from a more reduced patterned pairing, but as you can obviously see on this snake, it does have some thin bars pretty routinely throughout the body. Those will only become more high contrast. The bands will be darker, the base color will become lighter as this animal ages. And as you can see with not only this one, but the other couple of scrubs as well, very good attitudes on these guys. That's one of the biggest differences with the captive bred scrub pythons compared to your wild caught ones, is that these guys typically have a very good demeanor, really from straight out of the egg, but with a little bit of work as babies, they become very calm, and they're wonderful snakes to work with. So, of course, this guy has to be deep in shed for filming the video, but to break the fourth wall, this is a few weeks before the expo right now, so by the time Pomona rolls around, this guy will be fresh shed and looking great. But this is a 2-year-old male Barneck scrub python that I'll be bringing to the show. One of the darker babies that I've ever produced, and one that has been a holdback animal of mine for a while, but unfortunately, some of them need to go to make space for some younger holdbacks, but at the same time, if he does not sell, I will not be particularly mad about it because he is incredible. But yeah, very nice snake, one that is unfortunately in shed right now for the video, but you could probably tell, despite that, just how dark patterned he is. I mean, from really the midway point back, he's almost completely black, and really just a gorgeous, gorgeous Barneck. All right, and this is another male Barneck that I will have at the show. This guy's very special. He's from what I'm calling tentatively my melanistic line. Basically just all animals that come from one particular female. We'll throw a picture of her up on the screen as well, but she's as close to solid black as I've ever seen in a Barneck. And obviously this animal does not have quite that appearance to it, but it is very dark, especially further on in the body. But despite whatever else, Every offspring of hers has been very strange. A couple animals have hatched out looking almost hypo or axanthic, so there's probably some strange genetic component going on to her that probably won't be able to fully figure out for a little while, but no matter what, she is a very special animal, and so are all of her offspring. At the current moment, only one of them has ever left my collection, so this is definitely a rare offering, but this guy will be at the show. He's a yearling. He was born last July, and he is doing phenomenally. And this is another one of the baby Barnecks that'll be at the show, and this one obviously is much more on the reduced pattern side of the spectrum, but he has a very strange, cryptic pattern that's very atypical for Barnecks, with some kind of like dark tipping throughout that I expect to get more pronounced with age. Just very strange snake, honestly, one that is still in my mind to potentially be a holdback. But for anybody who is interested in the reduced pattern Barneck project, this is definitely a great male for it. He is just very, very weird, very cool, and one that I know will be even more beautiful, well, will be stunning truly as an adult, and one that I don't really think I've ever had another baby look like. So very, very weird, very cool baby Barneck. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to my first video here on YouTube. Hopefully the first of many to come. If you liked it, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. You can find me on Instagram at Scrub Shepherd, Facebook at Stephen Cush. I have a podcast as well called Cush's Corner on the Trap Talk Reptile Network, live every Wednesday night. And for everybody who's going to be at Pomona, I really look forward to seeing you there. And if you're not going to go to Pomona, but anything from this video caught your eye, shoot me a message and we can talk about it. But again, thank you everyone for watching the video, and I'll catch you back here for the next one.